What's going on, everyone? My name is Alex and I've got a video idea for you. So in the past month or two, they've come up with so many things for pumpkin pie and pumpkin spice related items. I've actually checked a few of these out, and one that stood out to me is gonna be the Jell-O pumpkin pie mix. Now, a bunch of my friends actually said that this was better than pumpkin pie in their opinion. I want to do a little blind taste test, get a homemade one, get a store-bought one, and make this as well, and just see which one they're rocking with. Hopefully it should be entertaining, a little informational for you. Maybe you can even make one of these for your family back at home. This is gonna be the store-bought pie that we got. Right here is gonna be that Jell-O pumpkin pie style pie right here. It says no bake on it. You just add milk, butter, and sugar. It makes about 8 slices. The only thing I would say that's wrong with this Jell-O is the crust mix. The crust mix, unfortunately, doesn't taste very good. It really doesn't break apart very easily, especially if you make this in a square pan. It's going to be kind of a nightmare to get it out. So what I'm actually gonna do is put it in a Marie Callender's pie crust and make it separately. So hopefully it should give it a little bit more of an advantage over the other two. Now what I'm gonna do with this pumpkin pie mix is a little bit of an audible. On the back, it does call for sugar and butter in the mix, which I don't want to negate on. I know that's gonna add a little bit of flavor. So what I'm gonna do is actually half the sugar and the butter and throw it in with the mix just by itself, as we're using a different kind of crust. All right, so we're just gonna throw in the Jell-O filling mix. Perfect, smells very spicy, pumpkin spice. Almost smells kind of like Cinnamon Toast Crunch mixed with a pumpkin spice. It's interesting. We got the butter for us. Perfect. There's 2 tablespoons instead of 4. And then we'll get 1 tablespoon instead of 2 of the sugar. Perfect. Just a little bit more in there, why not? Sugar, spice, and everything nice for this one. Then 2.5 cups of milk. Now I can't find my full cup measuring, so bear with me on this one. One more. Flawless, just like Gordon Ramsay would have envisioned. Now you mix this up for about 2 minutes. If you're doing it by hand, this is gonna take a little bit longer. I don't have a whisker. I'm not one of those people, so you're gonna have to see me kind of mix this by hand, and we'll cut back to it when it's completely finished. All right, perfect. So it looks like once you have this kind of consistency, you're gonna be all set. It looks like everything is kind of molded together. So we're gonna set this to the side, start making the other one, and preheat the oven for the pie crust. Now I wanted to look up the best homemade recipe for pumpkin pie, but what I found out is everybody copies Libby's. So it's either Libby's was the original, or everybody else just started copying Libby's and started saying it's their own. But this is the recipe I'm gonna start following. It's the easiest one. It's only got about 2 or 3 directions on it. You know, everything on here costs about $10, $15 total. I mean, the most expensive stuff was gonna be the spices. And if you cook a lot, you probably already have that at home. So without further ado, let's just get right into this one. We're gonna need the Libby's Pure Pumpkin can, the 15 ounce, 1.5 cups of Carnation evaporated milk, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, half a tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon ground cinnamon, half a tablespoon ground ginger, 1/4 tablespoon ground cloves, 2 large eggs, and then your deep dish pie shell. And like I said, we have the Marie Callender's one, so let's get right into this one. Now we got everything ready, let's go ahead and start doing it. So first direction, mix dry ingredients in a small bowl. So let's get a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. There we go. Just get right in there, grab a little bit, boom. Done with the ground cinnamon now. Get half a teaspoon of ground ginger. All right, grab the half a teaspoon. Get on in there. Perfect. All right, just one more spice. Let's see how much of the cloves we gotta do. We need to do a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. So then we just do a little half of this. Oh, that's looking perfect. I'm too lazy to get the 4th one, and I don't really care that much, so Perfect. There we go. Now, oh shit. Y'all just hit a little earthquake. Sorry about that. That was like a tier 5 right there. All right, so now we got to beat the eggs in a large bowl as well. I've got the eggs on the side right here. I'm not going to waste a bowl. I'm just going to waste a cup. So let's beat them in there. All right. Eggs looking pretty good. Let's see now. Stir in pumpkin and dry ingredient mixture. Okay. So, boom. Eggs go in. Let's get that pumpkin mix in there. Yeah, just go ahead and smack it out there if it's not coming out. Can't use a knife or something, but I'm trying to use as little utensils as I can. I'm even gonna get in there with the fork I used earlier. Perfect. That's looking scrumptious. All right. Just set that to the side now. And all we gotta do is just stir in the milk, and then we throw it on the pie mixture, and that's it. So, we'll just pour in that milk and go ahead and mix up. And again, I'm gonna cut this because I doubt you wanna watch me just stir a bowl for 2 minutes. All right. Do a little trick shot with the bowl. Check this out. I'm a wizard. Oh, spinning. All right, now once you got that pumpkin spice mix all figured out, go ahead and just set this to the side. The only remaining ingredients and steps is just gonna be the pie crust and letting it bake. So we're pretty much already done already. Let's go ahead and set up to the oven. Now, if you're constrained on time, the homemade one's probably not gonna be the move for you. This one takes about 45 minutes to an hour to make total. If you wanted something that's a little bit quicker and you still wanted it homemade, the Jell-O one might be the play for you, especially since this one takes hours to cool down if you wanted it colder. The one thing I would say is the Libby's actually smells a little bit worse than the Jell-O pie mix, so I'm pretty excited to see how this is gonna turn out actually.
Ooh, don't be a hater because it looks so good, playa. So we're gonna throw this one in just by itself. The Jell-O one, we're gonna throw in just the pie crust because I wanna have that one separated. All right, we got both of them in there. So the pie crust, I'm gonna take out in about 12 to 15 minutes. The other one you wanna let sit in there for about 15 minutes and then turn it down to 350 for another 30 minutes by itself.
All right, perfect. We took the crust out. It's looking pretty golden brown. I messed up a little bit taking it out, so don't mind that. I am not the best at baking, but all we gotta do now is just throw in the Jell-O mix in that and then just refrigerate it until they get here. The oven is now turned to 350. It's been 15 minutes for the homemade pie. It's looking pretty good in there, so hopefully in about 30 minutes from now, it should be looking perfect. All right, perfect. It's all in there. I'm hoping that once it's refrigerated, all the lines will kind of meld together and everything will look kind of like the other ones, but this is the Jell-O one. It should be pretty good. I mean, I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully it wins because I kind of want it to. All right, the homemade pie is done. It's actually looking pretty good, so we'll just let this cool, wait until my friends get here and see which one they're thinking is gonna be the best pie.
What's going on, guys? So I'm back with two of my friends. I got Ethan and Nathaniel here. They're both gonna be trying out these pies. So you don't know which one's which. Two of these are made with pumpkin and one of them is made with Jell-O, okay? So go ahead, try this from out and see just which one's the best one. Go ahead.
All right. Pumpkin pie, huh?
Mm-hmm. This is pumpkin pie right here. One's gonna be store-bought, one's homemade, and one's Jell-O.
Let's say some pretty store-bought right there.
Okay. You want to eat that? All right. You're rocking with that one. Okay. And you weren't rocking with that store-bought?
I mean, it's fine.
It's
just
fine.
said
One of them was made of Jell-O?
Yeah.
I think this is it.
You think that middle one's made of Jell-O?
without even biting it.
Well, you have had the Jell-O one before.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Jell-O one.
Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's see
This
about
must
this
be
one.
the homemade. It's looking okay.
It's looking creamy.
Okay.
You know what they call these?
I mean, hey, I'm not very good at baking. This is the first pie I've ever made, so
I'll say it's looking okay.
honestly, the rind might be the best choice.
Where's the pie crust underneath? Oh,
It's the entire way.
Let's see, there it is. Oh,
Okay.
it's looking a little raw. That is unfortunate.
I cooked it for exactly what it said on the can.
Oh, so this is the good one.
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying for the homemade one, I cooked it exactly how it was supposed to.
It's not bad.
It's not
I don't
bad?
Know, I don't know the taste yet, but yeah.
All right. Well, you've tried all three of them. Which one would you say is the best, and which one would you say is the worst?
Out of all these pies,
Mm-hmm.
I like these two the best.
Okay, so these two right here.
This one's firmer. But
Okay.
This one has more spice.
Okay.
So it's a hard toss-up.
What are you thinking?
I gotta say, I think I like the Jell-O pie the best.
Okay.
I know it's a hard take, but I also think the homemade is the worst.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which one do you think is the best out of these two?
I like this pie.
Okay. So your favorite was the store-bought, and your favorite was the Jell-O.
The Jell-O, yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go. That's pretty good. At least we know the answers now. Either I suck at cooking or Libby's just doesn't know how to make pie.
Who's Libby?
Might be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. Oh, it looks like the results were in. Nathaniel thought the store-bought was the best. Ethan thought the Jell-O was the best. I personally tried all three of them, and I thought the store-bought was probably the best. The Libby's was a little bit disappointing. I made it exactly how it was on the bottom. I know people in the comments might say that I messed up the pie. I mean, I did mess it up. You know, it was kind of undercooked, but I followed the instructions exactly how they wanted to. And even if it was cooked thoroughly, it just really didn't have any spice or flavor like the other ones. I think if I did it again, I'd probably maybe do it to taste. I just wanted to do it exactly with the recipe, so, you know, I didn't want to mess anything up. So maybe in the future I might do this again. We'll see what's going on. It was a fun little video anyways. Thank you again for watching.